Hello and welcome. Welcome to our Baltic Sea region tourism and workshop event. So put up your hands if you are fans of tourism, please. Yes? Yeah. If you're fans of economics and energy. Yeah, just checking on people who are in the wrong room again. Because sometimes you can do it twice. Hoping that finally there will be something about energy, because you've spent the first part of the day outside just drinking a juice. But that energy thing is there, next door. And thank you for being with us. Innovation and technological developments. Another buzzwords, 2 in a row. Another time when we are asking ourselves, is there anything different? Because there are conferences where you, from year to year, you're listening to the same thing and hoping that someday it will work. Then there are conferences where people come and say, you know, this is dead, now this is the thing. There's so many dead things in the world, like television or cinema or vinyl or, I don't know, radio, because there's Spotify, right? So everyone is dead. There's always something new. So let's see what is innovation in tourism and what is technological developments. We will look at the innovative new approaches. Is there really new approaches, or are they just little tweaks? The digitalization of small and medium businesses. Then we will look at technology that increases efficiency and reduce costs. Is there right things to do to reduce costs? Because, of course, the investment part of reducing costs is big. You have to spend time with people. You have to explain them. Customers are not ready to pay for them. Just tell me what is cheaper, I will buy that. And I think aviation industry will tell you how many people are buying those tickets which are sustainable or green. So, goods and bads of digitalization. What are goodies about digitalization? What we can sell to our industry or to our customers. The effect of AI, artificial intelligence. Like a year ago, artificial intelligence was not a thing. It was a fancy thing, yes, but not very usable. Now, suddenly, some things are changing. Just a question. Artificial intelligence, all sorts of those language modules. Which one of you are using them already? Which one? Artificial intelligence? Hi, yes, hands? Yes. Which one of you are using the ones you pay for? Hands? Yes? So who's afraid of artificial intelligence? Just questioning. Yes, who's afraid of it? Thank you. Who don't know what we're talking about? Actually, we are not sure what artificial intelligence is because it's so broad as that thing of sustainability. So these are the things we hope we'll have answers to. Digitalization and sustainability, how that works together. Maybe it's working hand in hand, maybe not. So please be open. And I guess the previous discussion showed that it's very important that we have a balance so we can come out and say what we really feel and think. The keynote will be given by the Next Gen Tech Digital Experiences strategist and founder of Story Founders. Please welcome Odeta Yate. Odeta. You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Okay. Good day, everyone. And let's go straight into it. Let's talk future. Because the only thing that you might think, about what is this next-gen tech? Because metaverse is just a game, NFTs, totally a scam, artificial intelligence, robots, machines now, ChatGPT, of course, and augmented reality doll face looking, filters and virtual spaces have no value at all, right? But we have exactly the same situation as we had multiple times when every new technology was founded. And right now, this is exactly happening the same with Web3 internet or next generation technologies. Because, if someone is saying that it's just a fancy hype going on and it just passed away. And the only thing what's left to think what next gen tech looks like is like this. But is it really so? So today I'm Odeta Yatsea. I will try to explain, because I consult and educate various brands and audiences on what is exactly this next generation digital experiences and technologies, and how to turn them into immersive customer journey. I also work with global digital transformations, but I also, on top of story founders and my agency, Future Insights Agency, I analyze the future. I share insights on trends, in customer behavior, in innovation, in trends, and in tech itself. And today, I invite you to take a look into this future traveler's journey. Because a question to you, how many of you have just simple social media profile? Anyone? Social media profile, LinkedIn, Facebook? Like almost everyone. So we don't need to think a lot to realize that the same as us, we use social media, we are present online, so our customers do the same. And this is why every one of us have started already to create our digital identities and collect digital things using social media accounts. And we can spot some changes in consumer behavior too, because future consumer has three identities right now. The physical one, we are physically here already. We visit physical places, we use all experiences and really experience things physically with our physical identity. Then we have a new one, being here pretty long time already with social media, is phygital. I know it sounds funny, but it's phygital, where physical blends with digital. And here we use augmented reality filters. We also spot some, changes on our social media alter egos, because maybe, we want to look a bit better, or a bit nastier. I'm not sure. Depends on you, on our alter ego, that we are doing with our phygital identity. And right now, we already are moving to our third identity, which is virtual. And we are using avatars, we are going in social gaming, we are using all these in-game skins, wearables to really dress it up ourselves and to really be present virtually. And we see how consumer is changing, and definitely businesses need to adapt too. So we see how business models and new business models are emerging, and direct-to-consumer becomes direct-to-avatar. And that's totally understandable, because who isn't tired of getting these Zoom calls, 2D calls that we are statically immersing ourselves with face-to-face, like with a screen. And we want to experience something more immersive, something more experiential. And Meta exactly announced last week a totally new solution, which has been forever in the tech industry. However, to the end user, it's coming. It's a 3D spatial solution. Because it means that, as you see on this video, we will be able to interact and physically touch and feel people, even though sitting on our chairs at home or sofas or whatever. And I really recommend to watch that video. It gives some more insights and also struggles, because we have to be balanced. Tech is also bad, but also sometimes it's good, but also we have also some bad things too. So we are stepping into the era of the spatial internet. And we can call it, of course, a fancy word, which is the metaverse. And that is exactly a package of immersive and interactive experiences. And don't get mistaken, because I mentioned Meta, ex-Facebook. Meta is not equal to metaverse. Metaverse is a part of a bigger spatial internet, is a vital part of the Web3, the next generation internet infrastructure, which is more decentralized, more immersive internet, where we really move from 2D static websites to 3D interactive and dynamic environments where we can fully, naturally interact with each other. And we can enhance our lives using augmented reality, virtual influencers, avatars, and so much more. So today, we will exactly focus on this part, on experience, not on infrastructure. And the news report says that, the more than a half travel industry leaders are saying that the metaverse, the spatial new internet, will positively revolutionize the future of tourism industry. And they're totally right. Because let's face the truth. Business cares about value received. Business don't care about tech itself. I mean, business don't do digital transformations because the tech is fun, or it's really super nice to have totally change organization and change impacts and etc. We do that. We don't do it because they like tech, but they want and they seek some value. They want results and they want growth. That's why next-gen tech has to become an integral part of business and marketing strategy, just for us so that we can reach the future consumer. And the future consumer is already present, is already inside the future, because we see that every generation of today's generations have a touch point with next-gen technologies. Gen Alpha, like 54% of active users on Roblox, very popular gaming platform, is Gen Alpha. Gen Z spends 2 times more time online than in physical places, and doing socializing online than in the physical world. 77% millennials are really having their habits to shop and virtually and online. And Gen X is the second biggest audience that is interested in NFTs and digital collectibles. And of course, we can see that all these differences of generations really impact the traveler's journey that we have. And we can really see the tech, it impacts from searching an inspiration, where to go, where to where to shop, where to book, and etc., to the after-trip activities. And today, my goal is not to look somewhere far, far away from the future, to its utopian or dystopian future, but rather to see how next-gen tech-powered solutions and experiences can really inspire our people, our customers, to travel physically more. And let's dive into the journey of these emerging travel future trends that I will also talk about while describing 6 key solutions of next-gen tech. Let's start with AR, because forget boring exploring, augmented reality is here to stay with gamification of physical locations, interactive tours, geolocal solutions, and so much more. And I hope there's no need to say that more than 90% of our customers, of our audiences, are using or are reaching our services using their mobile phones. And augmented reality is exactly, the phone is exactly the medium for augmented reality to be used. And there is a research by Snapchat made that they're saying that customers are using AR like crazy. They are really using for everything, for maps, generation, traveling and exploring, multiple different things related to travel industry. But business, as we can see in the graph, the darker one, they are not really investing into it. Even they should, because exactly the attention that we are having right now from our customers is so small. It's only a couple of seconds, so we have to kick them, and take them as soon as possible and as quick as possible. So consumers want experiences that would lead them to have some more interactive experience with the brand, and that would interest them more. So AR is exactly a jackpot for both brand and consumer, as it gives away and a chance to stay connected longer. And time is money, money is time, so right now, the more we have attention of our customers, the more we happy should be, hopefully. And this is exactly what also I'm saying, that the more they will stay with us, the more we will be visible online, and the more we will be visible online, the more we will want to travel to us. Hopefully, yeah, if you create a good content, yeah? But because there is also another research saying that 70% of Gen Z and millennials are exactly traveling, they're inspired to travel physically only because of what we saw and spotted online. And here comes an opportunity to really make these places that they saw online, that they spot online, more interactive by creating augmented reality city sightseeing tours and guides like Singapore did just a couple of months ago. Or we can allow them to relive the history of guidance of the avatar once we are physically in the place, or without an avatar when we are at home. Both ways we can explore and learn about the object. And just like, this educational tour that you can see on the screen of Notre Dame, that was showing not only what is happening and what is standing right now in physically, but also what was the original building years ago. We can also do collabs with our local businesses to equip our amazing rooms or venues with our local business products and etc. Because we can make it possible to shop from local businesses just by having our shop the room function, which you come to a room, you like the object, you scan it with image recognition, you have all this information around it, you press checkout, and you have a collaboration, and you support your locals too. So augmented reality solutions is also not only, we can use it in outdoors like Google Maps, like saying, okay, let's go to this and this train station and blah, blah, blah. But also we can use it for indoor navigation of physical locations. With AR, we can give such a cool and good opportunity for our customers to share online content by bringing to life a city, a country, a location, a merchandise, do in restaurant menus, interactive menus, and even a static art installations in museums. Everything, literally everything is possible. And tip and trick a bit, you can use holidays and themed days to use for AR activities and filters to create, because these days are very engaging and very popular to be shared. Our audiences are really sharing content on these days, and we feel more connected. So it seems that with AR, we basically can turn our customers' waiting into interactive dwelling at airports, touristic locations, even, at check-in at the hotel. And all these AR-powered solutions reflect three main travel trends. The first one, hyperlocalism, where local activities that encourages, you to explore local cultures. You remember shop the room function, yeah? Dark tourism, visiting some, very scary spaces or places or intensive places, and the very increasingly popular trend of traveling to places we've seen on social media and in pop TV series too. And there's even an effect called White Lotus, based on TV series, which really says that travelers are literally being inspired by TV and movies to travel physically. And no matter where AR is done, I really recommend to think not only about these visuals and screen-based augmenting, enhancing our reality. We can also think about audio augmented reality, which really makes our customers, feel like somewhere else. If you would turn on the flying birds or feeling like a jungle, it still augments our our reality. So let's not forget about that sensory feeling that audio augmented reality can help us to create too. And okay, now I know I started the purpose with AR so that we can now jump into AI. And let's see. I know there's a lot of negativity going around this, and definitely I have my own doubts too, and there's a huge part of it true. However, I think, and let's face it, I think you will agree, that this is why we are here today, exactly because of this reason, to evolve together by using these tools and finally make AI work for us, not us for AI. So AI tools can perfectly be used for marketing purposes, such as content creation, text inspiration, visuals, audio, video generation. Actually, I can create another workshop and deep dive on these, my favorite tools that you can see on the screen. We also have a different point of view and perspective, and we can ask AI to help us, to customize and personalize our customers' trip itineraries, just like I just asked. Act as a travel agent and plan a weekend getaway for me in Baltic countries. And definitely, voila, we have a very cool result, but here we don't copy and paste. We, as industry professionals, we have such a huge experience, such a huge tips and tricks basis, so that we can improve and make this result and answer work for us for our further work in proposal writing, language assistance, having even creating with ChatGPT, we can create our customer persona or have a customer insights. For trip planning, for personalization, so many things that we can do. We also see that AI can be used, and the text chatbots are literally evolving and becoming avatars. And what do you mean by that? And they are highly personal avatars, and they are getting physical appearance to be more human-like and to react real-time, making each customer that feel more engaged, and they are feeling that they are acting, or engaging with a real human agent, which is very cost-effective right now. And while moving from text chatbots to avatars, we also move from social media influencers to virtual influencers that are really trendsetters because we are sharing some secret gems of different places, and that encourages user-generated content to be generated. And virtual influencer is really giving an opportunity to brands to become closer to the digital native audiences. Because imagine a collaboration that a famous virtual influencer would be doing his or her first music video filming in your country or in your hotel. It's a pretty good marketing pretty good marketing placement right now. And virtual influencer doesn't have to be, and it doesn't have to look like person or human-like to be successfully integrated in the marketing campaigns. An example of super funny, I highly recommend just to watch, instead of TikTok, just a funny character, nobody sausage, that even made a partnership, the global leader in travel industry, Lauder Duty Free. And in this video, it's just funny, they are transforming themselves into the duty free of Lauder, and they are having fun, and etc. I mean, it's a funny video. And I talked a lot about digital things and how can we use, digital screens to really interact with AI. But we also can use AI in physical places too to stimulate multisensory feelings and create literally multisensory experiences. What I mean by that, imagine you are coming to the hotel and receptionist kindly asks you, what's your mood today? What's your favorite color? What do you like the most? And based on the quick analysis by AI, it creates a personalized perfume using this machine that you can see on this video. I have this perfume myself at home, I love it. And this perfume is literally, you can take it if your receptionist is giving you, you're bringing it to your hotel room, and you feel so inspired because you feel you smell the scent and perfume that is really reflecting and affecting your mood. So, and that is possible. That is already happening in some kind of innovators like boutique hotels around the world. And let your guests to experience extraordinary personalized stays with it. And after stepping into AI and AR, seeing how can we gamify these physical and digital environments, let's move into virtual spaces. I heard some bad things, and I totally agree with you. Yeah, we can discuss also about this, because virtual museums, 360 tours are certainly nothing new here, because the first virtual tour was in 1994 in Britain, with the 3D objects on the ground laid down, and we can, see that this desire to get away was since here forever, because a need to experience and visit something not from this space, but maybe a little a bit aware, is the main driver still today to book trips, as we can see at the statistics. And this is why we can use virtual reality solutions for our consumers to disconnect from their routine to connect to our place. And that's why 360 tours are giving this try before you buy option, which is very, very welcomed by consumers. Or we can give a chance to really explore something totally unbearable in physical location, like watching so close volcanic eruption, because we can only do it with VR. It would be pretty dangerous to do it in physical place. So Also, companies are training their employees with VR. It's not only about promoting virtual tours of planes and flights, but we also that's why I highly recommend to use virtual tours and to do virtual tours with 360 or just a simple video of your room, because it really increases bookings and makes you feel that you are in that room. So that's why we call it try before you buy it and try before you visit solution. And it really works. Looking from a bit different angle, for example, an island near Australia is at the edge of extinction due to the climate change. It's a very bad situation, but at least they think of a solution, at least a temporary one. So they have decided to fully move to the metaverse, creating a digital virtual replica of its island to preserve not only pictures, landscape heritage, but also cultural, creating some avatars, creating some really tips and tricks how to experience and traditions and culture. And the generations to come, they will be also available, it will be also available for them to explore this. And nothing, it seems, new here for virtual reality, but why I want to emphasize why it's so important for you not to stop integrating such solutions into the services, because of these future trends, emerging trends that we can see. Microtourism, very simple as that, a desire to escape, as I mentioned, before, the desire for a short term to get away somewhere, for experience something new. Then we have digital softness in interior designs, which is so impacted by virtual spaces. And when you look on this virtual spaces, it has really digital softness is like a term here. And we fully see this emerging trend really affecting our interior designs too. And while some people, are taking digital detoxes from technology because they hate it, other people don't even have an option to travel, maybe because of physical or health limitations. So this is exactly also one of the key ideas with virtual reality or with virtual tours, but either with headset or with just a screen or video. It can bring that people to your place, to experience it also and give that chance to explore you. So this is how we gain customer loyalty, This is how we really touch that heart of a person. And by personalizing experiences, by creating and, thinking about that specific person that we have in our audience. And this is very important because in the customer service. And here comes one more next-gen tech, NFTs. Because to create a to create a superior experience for our customers, it's really important. And just a reminder, NFT is a digital value-added proof of ownership and authenticity. But we don't need to shout out loud saying, oh, we made an NFTs, we are super cool, all these digital things are happening. Because from my perspective and from tech person perspective, NFT is just a technological solution that can be used to really as an additional key to reach new audiences and award loyal customers. And these benefits in travel industry spins around holistic and regenerative tourism, where travelers pay specific and special attention to revitalization of local, cultural, natural, and human resources. Also, NFTs are super important, and for future trend, which is like value hunters. It's not a trend right now, I would admit, because it's been forever here. But also we have third one, the B leisure, where business meets leisure, when it's used by so-called slash generation, with people who really tend to work and travel at the same time. And this is why the spaces in hotels that are fully equipped for remote working are becoming so popular and at the top of the searching bars. So here comes an evolution of loyalty programs where loyalty card is replaced just with a picture. But here comes the secret part. The picture, exactly, yeah, I love it. And the picture can be exclusive loyalty program or, in membership, like Airplane, show it down to Airplane, Air Baltic, I saw it. We have some people here from them. And we see that Lufthansa a month ago launched too, these NFT membership-based loyalty programs. We also see that we can have an NFT as authenticity proof of limited edition physical organic wine. Yeah, video is not playing, but it's amazing wine that you can also check under this name. And or we can have a digital collectible to really mark some special occasion, event, or a moment, or certificate that really says that customer has really experienced or used your service. It can be also a pass of an super exclusive experiences like the Bristol in Paris did, allowing only a limited amount of passes to be purchased, which really caused the scarcity in luxury market because it means that status and power to have this pass. And NFTs can allow us to own a little bit of exclusivity, a bit of status, as I mentioned, a bit of power, a bit of future, but also it can let us also own a bit of history by investing into local places, into sustainability and natural heritage, like these two examples that you can see on the screen. These initiatives, spoiler alert, they didn't use NFTs. However, it would be an amazing idea and lovely idea to provide NFT certification for sustainable and nature-empowering initiatives to really connect precious moments. So the future of loyalty cards is not to collect some simple points, but to collect experiences, to collect some precious moments. And when we collect these precious moments, we have the digital things, all the digital collectibles in our package, then we would like to place it somewhere. That's why we have virtual gaming, that's why we have social gaming, that's why we have this metaverse and spatial thing. We buy land, we build home, we go to the parties. And I know it sounds very funny, but here comes a pretty psychological, pretty important psychological paradox. Because just an open question, who has kids, had how many times your kid asked you to buy something on Roblox? And again, spoiler alert, last year, Roblox, as a gift, some kind of item in Roblox, the gaming platform, was the #1 Christmas gift for kids. And I have no doubt that it will be the same this year too. Kids spend huge amount of their time playing online. And the gaming is not equal to a negative effect. Because game can be an educational source. It can be a growth. It can be logical thinking. It can be socialization and knowledge. It makes that younger kids can not only learn things and facts about countries, places of interest, or brands, but the more they are engaged and the more they found the fun inside the game, the more they will want to experience it in a physical place too. And it's not only kids who play. We have multiple different audiences and multiple different worlds around the world that were from different generations, from crypto fans and crypto bros, if you know what I mean, gamers, and simply to curious people who come to interact and socialize and really attend some virtual events. So while gaming, we can fulfill the desire to be a little bit of there and a little bit of where. That's why we have the fragmented travel trend here. Because when we use gaming, we can be at the same time in different places at the same time. And also we have escape play, like desire to retreat from the normal routine that we have. This is also very important. And last but not least, we have Proteus effect, which says that the way our avatar looks and behaves socially in social gaming, it directly affects the way we physically feel. And this is very important. Because then we can create some extraordinary experiences for our, avatars and really feel physically very good, as Friends and the Sandbox platform did, giving us emotions and thrill, like to allow experience traditions of their country. Like Singapore Airport and Roblox created their gamified spaces where people can not only play, but also they can collect prizes and win prizes and collect digital things, and really to experience what is happening in this Changiverse in this airport. And then we have Saudi Arabia created the UNESCO Heritage Natural Landscape in Decentraland, the decentralized platform, inviting people to explore and to see what is this UNESCO heritage. So we don't need to sit also in front of a screen to really experience gamification. Creating gamified experiences where visitors compete by completing specific tasks, only arriving at specific physical geolocation, is also a perfect solution for making treasure hunts activations in city or indoors. So we see that the growth of technology has direct impact on our physical world. And every part of a customer's plan, traveler's journey is affected by tech. And we see that Metaverse is not just a game, it's a new marketing channel. NFTs is not a scam, a new loyalty program and collectibles program. AI is a tool for personalization and productivity. Augmented reality is interactive way to engage with consumer, and virtual spaces, a way to be more inclusive and sustainable. So let's explore, let's connect and explore this tech together to create these really amazing experiences together. Thank you so much.
Wow. Wow.
I know
Wow.
it took maybe 2-3 minutes more. Sorry.
There were moments. There were moments I thought my brain will just blow up. With,
I know I talked too fast. Sorry. It's only 30 minutes, so.
I know. Yeah, we have to somehow grasp it and to find out what exactly are we going to do with all that, Odetta.
I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot. That's why we talk about it
Yes.
slowly.
So now there comes a moment where you will have to answer for every single word you said.
Perfect.
That's why I'm asking you also to take part in the discussion panel in the center, please. So, yes.
Okay.
Then we have another absolutely interesting work title, which is Chief Growth Officer at Moder from Finland. Please welcome our moderator of this panel, Nicole, also known as Nikki Pagels. And Nikki will be the one also to announce our panelists.
Yes, I'll do that. Fantastic. Thank you so much,
Welcome.
Val. Hello, everybody. So my name's Nikki Pagels. I'm from Mordad. We're a travel tech house based in Helsinki, and I am joined today with a really expert panel of different types of tech experts from around the region. So I'd like to welcome first on stage Andris Malahovskis from D-Edge Hospitality Solutions. Take a seat, Andris. Welcome. Very good. I'd like to invite Anna-Kaisa Ojala from Visit Finland. And last but not least, I'd like to invite Artis Gustovskis from the Innovation Hub at the city of Kuldiga. Right, fantastic. So I would like to first of all thank Odetta. Wow, what a lot of information. All of the different tech trends I think have already been covered. Who is excited about what's next?
What's happening? What's already happening?
That's it. I think what we're going to try and do to start with is we're going to try and bring some of the ideas of what Odetta's been talking about into our own reality. I think technology is something that I often get asked about as something that people don't understand, something that's too big, something that costs too much, something that's just kind of out there that we all need to be part of but we don't really understand. So if we kind of spend the first part of this session diving into some of the different topics that Odetta's talked about and bringing them into our own reality, I think that will help many. I'll start with a little bit of an introduction, however, into everybody. So if we go around the room, would you maybe, Annis, give us a little bit of an introduction into yourself, what your expertise is, and how you can maybe apply it today as well?
Yes, thank you, Nikki. Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Anna-Kaisa Ojala. You can call me Anis, easier, and I'm from Visit Finland. And, well, you all know Visit Finland is the National Tourism Board of Finland, so of course our main mandate and objective is to build preference and demand for Finland as a travel destination within international travelers. But we also do have a very strong development and support function for the Finnish travel trade. As was mentioned in the earlier panel discussion, I was very happy that it was Jeppe, you raised like the important role of DMOs. So we definitely have a very strong support function in a national level for our DMOs and destinations and businesses when it comes to sustainability, which was mentioned earlier. We have a very well-known Sustainable Travel Finland program for all the Finnish travel trade. Then also we're focusing on support function on data. So we provide loads of travel and tourism data in Finland through Open API and also business intelligence and insights to decision making and political lobbying, if you will, also. So data also. And then what's on my responsibility is support the Finnish travel trade on digitalization. So then we do work in all these topics: sustainability, data, and digitalization.
Fantastic, and we're going to explore all of those and open up the Pandora's box of your knowledge,
Yes.
and hopefully bring a concise view on all of the topics together. So particularly the sustainability and technology, we touch on that later, but it's great to have a DMO here because I think it all does start with a DMO, also on the technology front, when it comes to leading the way in digital change in our entire region. So I'm sure that any DMOs in the room would agree with that. So thank you very much, Andris, for joining us today. Andris, would you give us a quick overview into yourself and who you are and what you do and what you're going to be talking about today?
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andris Malachovskis and I'm working at DH Hospitality Solutions. I'm responsible for the sales and business development in the Baltic countries, Finland and Ukraine. We are hotel technology, a software provider for the hotels. So we are offering our solutions to hotels to optimize their distribution, digitalization, guest journey, attract more direct guests and streamline their revenue.
Thank you very much. So we'll be diving into the customer journey a little bit more with Andris and taking a look at how all of the various different bits of new emerging technology apply to actually the customer journey already in today's day and age. So thank you very much for joining us. And Artis, would you give us a quick introduction to yourself and what you're up to?
Hello, dear ladies and gentlemen. My name is Artis, and I'm responsible about digitalization of tourism tools and other tools in West Latvia, Kurzeme. I'm chairman of Kurzeme Tourism Association, but my current job is Digital Innovation Hub of Kuliga. So we are doing exactly what Odetta said about, and I really enjoyed your words, create and change AR and VR products into educational playground for tourists. So this is what we're doing. Yes, and especially because 2 weeks ago we received UNESCO title, and it's all about UNESCO heritage turning into AR and VR.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Very good. We're going to dive into that in a bit and take a look and see what kind of examples we've got here in Latvia. So thank you very much, Artis, for joining us as well today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so to make this logical, who here is scared of technology? Nobody. Little bit. I'll be bold. It's all right. I'm a little bit scared of technology as well when you look at what's coming into the future. I think what we'll do is we'll start off with the customer journey, and particularly how the tourism industry reaches its customers. And I'd really like to kind of open that up to everybody really to kind of get your insights on how you see customer acquisition at the moment and how we market to customers in different parts of the world. So do you want to start on this with a little bit of an insight into how you see it in today's day and age?
Yes, and thank you, Odetta. Your presentation was fantastic, inspirational, but a bit overwhelming, as was mentioned earlier as well. And when we at Visit Finland talked Finnish travel trade about digitalization, I think it's important to keep it simple because the travel businesses, they don't need to be thinking blockchain and NFTs, etc. Because we still...
We can discuss.
And I bet, it's good that you agree, because there needs to be innovators, but I don't think, especially when it comes to SME, like there's still so much to do in the basics. And especially as you said about the customer acquisition, my two main things that I want to accomplish in Finland for the travel businesses is digital accessibility and digital bookability. So, because that's a key thing to build international growth, and that's our main goal in Visit Finland. So what I mean by digital accessibility is that our destinations, our products and services needs to be accessible in the right digital channels. It sounds super simple, right? But it's not. Like the internet is the catalog for your destination. And if you don't claim your space in internet in relevant channels, you don't exist as a destination or as a business. So that's why I think it's extremely important for the businesses to start realizing claiming your own space in the travel internet, if you will, constantly changing. So I think that's number one thing in building demand and preference for your business and destination. And then secondly, your products needs to be bookable. So we can't anymore expect people to, email or pick up a phone and call across the world, oh, hello, do you have a vacancy on next week? No, it needs to be one click. This is my view, and it applies to several different generations, not just Z or I think our audience, travelers, are already digitalized, so we need to be digitalized as well. And why it's that important, I'm still going to say one more thing. Why it's that important for us in Visit Finland, because we don't participate in the bookings or anything like that. But as we build demand for Finland, and it's mainly, of course, done in digital channels. So when we build demand in these channels, we need to have the supply. Why would we build demand and then not have supply available? So that's sort of very basic stuff, but there's lots of work to do in Finnish destinations to have our inventory digitalized.
Yeah. I find that a really good introduction into why this is so important to be talking about now, and I'd just like to kind of reference back to what you mentioned as well, Adetta, about new generations, but also other generations. Now, if we're looking at 77% of millennials, is that right? Get me?
And Gen Z.
Yeah, my memory is a little bit fuzzy. So 77% of millennials booking online now. That's a huge proportion of a very large part of the population at the moment. And that's also the population that is exactly working for both business, traveling for both business as well as also pleasure. And then you've got, did you say that 2/3 of the Gen Z world live in the digital world more than they do in the physical one? Socialize more.
Exactly.
So this is obviously something that is hugely important for us to be thinking about, because this is a trend that's probably set to continue, right?
Yeah.
So what's Gen Alpha going to do?
So actually, I would like to reflect on what you just mentioned, about the option to just call, pick up your phone. Actually, I love it. I'm a millennial, but I love it because it causes, it helps me to feel exclusive, because that option, maybe some super boutique hotel or super small hytte, in Norway, somewhere on top of a mountain, is laying there and it definitely doesn't have any presence online. However, someone spotted and posted about it online, but it also is like a circle. Maybe we as brand, we don't have to be online, but we have a huge army of our followers, but I'm not going to say follower, but audience or travelers who really do that promotion instead of us. And we can still have that call, and it's nothing bad with that. So I think it is also a trend in Gen Z, that what we see online, it doesn't mean that exactly we have to have a button checkout. It helps, yeah, for millennials. It definitely helps, because we don't think a lot. Okay, we are payable customers. Gen Z is just starting to be payable. I mean, and to pay money for everything, but millennial is like, if they, in my generation, we are still, on the perspective of the age, we are already have our work, jobs, and we don't think a lot, overthink about money, of course, due to economical multiple things. I'm not saying about that. Definitely it influences it. But you're coming back to your question, what is happening with Gen Alpha, is exactly what I would like to refer back what I was saying, that, again, can have, exclusive website or something like that. But website, it's so old news. Because what is happening right now? When we were having business face to face, we were making deals, we still do, I love it also, just to shake hands and do some networking. But when we had business deals face to face done, then suddenly we had, Web 2, like www.bomb dot bubble,
So static website is slowly but surely starting to become irrelevant
exactly.
in our space.
And when we moved to social media, so when people were saying, oh, we don't need websites, we have everything face to face. But that was not true, because they literally needed websites to showcase their services. Then the same happened to social media. When social media came into the place, where everyone is saying, oh, we don't definitely, social media, we don't need it. We have our website, people will go to the Google, whatever, they will find us somehow, they will find us, they will shop on our websites. But what happened? Instagram or any other social media is doing this exactly the checkout, one-click checkout, to stay on exactly the same platform, because this is where the most of our customers and our audiences are right now. And what is happening in the next future, in the next couple of years, is exactly the spatial internet, which is exactly the same. Oh, spatial internet, we don't need to be there. But this is exactly where we should think, at least right now, to be there, or at least to plan, or to have some kind of a bit of in marketing budget to be present in gaming and virtual things and etc.
Okay, so looking at the kind of access in general, just tying it back to kind of what Anis mentioned as well, I think access to our products is changing, and where we talk about the digital world, we do talk about our own website, and we'll go into that in a second with Andres, and the customer journey on how customers especially book, but it's just as important, it seems, to be on different platforms around the world, whether that be an influencer platform, whether that be social media, whether that be through agents, tour operators, like many of you in this room as well. Is that right, that we should be kind of everywhere, but we should know where we want to be? Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So if we then take a look at that book button, so this is something that I get asked a lot, especially in my world, when it comes to actually customers making the booking and the customer journey itself. So where the customer has then landed on a web page and wants to make a booking, whether that's through a tour operator or that's through a hotel platform like D-Edge, what does that journey look like today, and what are the big milestones there that we need to be thinking about?
Well, just to reference bit back to previous questions, offline is not dead. Based on the statistics, around 25% of the bookings at the hotels are made offline. So don't forget about the online channels. Don't get me wrong, we are moving into the transition into the digital world. I have to admit that the travel technology, it's lacking behind the cruise ships, the airlines, and everything else. We are lacking behind like hotels with the digitalization and innovation, because we are more classical approach in the industry with human touch, check-in, check-out, and everything else. But nevertheless, the online is taking over. Most of the clients nowadays are millennials, which are those with purchase power. And as millennials, we like to do online and offline and have as well the experience, whereas the Gen Z is more towards born with the technology. So for them, it's like very important to have the technology, the payments, all together synchronized, that they could do it within one click. Alpha, I don't know what's going to happen with them. I don't know it yet. My kid is alpha, but it's like really wow. Sometimes I'm like, from personal experience, it sometimes shocks me at some point. But let's get back to the hospitality. So how does the guest journey looks from the travel tech perspective? It's not actually something which is out of this world. You just have to identify in which points you are now as a hotel and where you just have to be to broaden your audience, your client base. But the whole customer journey, the client journey of the hotel, Odetta actually had a very nice slide, which I liked it, about the planning and during the stay. So we are talking about the left side before the bubble during the stay at this point. So actually we can divide it in, let's say, 4 stages. It's awareness that we would like to book. Then it's actually the thing that we are starting to look for something. Then we compare, and then we purchase.
Yeah,
And-
AIDA model.
So
It's
browse,
called.
compare, and purchase. Yeah.
So basically, this is the same what we do if we need to buy, I don't know, new kettle.
Yeah.
What do you do? Okay, I'll call friends. I have the idea that I have to have new kettle. I have the idea that I want to travel somewhere. Okay. Then you go, you do the research. Which
And
kettle
what are
is
the
the best?
platforms that the research is being done on? Is that still very much in Google?
It's Google.
In search
Bing.
engines? What are the
TikTok
main
also.
ones?
Exactly. Well, TikTok as well, but that's mostly for Gen Z. But
Yeah.
I admit I have this platform, and sometimes I do compare something there just for the reference. But in general, yeah, it's the main player is still Google. With the Google Hotel Ads, and especially drastically, the business has launched as the beginning of this year when they have implemented free booking links. They generate around 15% of the reservations from the 100% of those which are done through the Google Hotel Ads, and they are free of charge. So you do not pay any commission to anyone.
Who here is connected to Google if you're a business owner? Is everybody connected? Wow, very good. Fantastic. Yeah.
And basically on those stages, we can apply different technology to pre-target, retarget, or just to showcase your product. So in the awareness, we can do the display ads. It's the same thing which is done by Expedia, Booking.com. You are just going on booking or booking something, like an airplane ticket, and then they place a cookie, and then you go, I don't know, to Delphi, TVNet, or somewhere else, Travel News, or whatever website, and then you see the banners, Booking.com, welcome to Riga. So this is what you can actually do with the help of technology to your individual hotel or the local group, and it's not super expensive. It's just here in Baltics, and I see it as well in Finland, that it's a bit, they think, oh, okay, like Accor and Hilton, and everyone does it. For us, it's too expensive. No, I have clients like 15, 10 rooms who are doing that.
I think this is a really good point when it comes to SMEs and it comes to kind of the industry being driven by SMEs in general, is the perception that technology is expensive. Who here thinks that technology is expensive? Yeah, there's a few hands in the air. So when we start to look at kind of the SME market, and for instance, connecting to Google, you mentioned it's completely free. Is this something that you think is misunderstood in the industry, or is it something that we should raise forward more so
I
that
think we
the
have to
technological and digital change happens more rapidly?
I think we have to speak about that. We
Yeah?
have proved it with the numbers and return on investment and all, yeah, like, statistics,
Yeah.
which the technological companies should have just to show them and convince, and basically talk to other hotels.
Yeah. We mentioned TikTok here as well. What does that cost for a business to get part of? Is that free as well, business listing?
Again, it depends. If you will have a very huge follower base, not follower base from Instagram or in TikTok itself, not an amount perspective, but you will have some unique point that person is eager to create a content about you. It can be really just
From
you
an
know, for
influencer
one night,
perspective.
one stay, you pay for them to do some content and just barter.
Yeah. What about the
collaborations.
businesses? You can have business accounts on TikTok as well, can't you? Who
Yeah.
here has a business account for TikTok?
I think it's not possible in Lithuania. At least we don't have this option. It's not available for every country yet
Yeah.
in TikTok. For to have business
We
accounts,
definitely
and,
have it in
you know,
Finland,
to,
don't
to,
we?
to do
Yes.
ads.
Yeah.
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 So I think it will
Because
Latvia
this is
maybe.
the big technological change that's happening within search engines, is that obviously we talk about Google, everybody knows Google, but actually TikTok for certain generations is being used as a search engine. So who here uses TikTok as a search engine?
Sometimes, yeah.
I do as well.
Yeah. It has definitely
Give it a
changed.
go. Give it a go. Go on your TikTok accounts and start searching for stuff, and all of a sudden you'll see all sorts of fun videos come up for you. And that's something to also kind of mention, is that maybe social media is also evolving into a new space, so that this becomes the new search engine for all of us going forward. Okay, so I'm going to open up the world of acronyms now. So we've mentioned 3 acronyms today, which I'd like to dive into a little bit more, if that's okay. And those are VR, AR, and AI. And I think, Odetta, thank you very much for explaining to us what they all mean. If we start with a little bit of augmented reality, I think this is kind of the lowest threshold for when it comes to experiential digital travel. And I'd really like to hear about a few examples of how that's maybe being applied here in Latvia and maybe elsewhere in the world as well. So, Artis, would you like to give us a little bit of an overview into the augmented reality world and virtual reality world of the Innovation Hub that you've been connected to, and how that's being applied here in Latvia already?
Okay, yes, of course. We started, because my first master was in fine arts, we started with art festival. So we painted in Kuldiga 22 huge murals, about 10 to 5 and such professional murals. And then, because my second master is in tourism, we started to think how to make it more attractive. Because if you see just a painting on a wall, it's okay, it's amazing, especially if it is a famous artist, but for me, sorry to say, it's just a painting.
Yeah.
So, but I always thought, and I think every destination manager here always thinking how to make it attractive. But it's very easy to make in augmented reality painting which already exist, or things which are existing. We test it, we do it, we create it. But it's really difficult to create something what does not exist. And Kuldiga UNESCO heritage is one of them. For example, the castle of Duke Jacob, what by historians was one of the most richest castles in history of Latvia. They sometimes say that even Rundale castle was not so rich, with numbers of paintings which were bought by Duke Jacob in 17th century. But let's do not think about this. But the castle does not exist anymore. So now we started to do augmented reality about this castle, because without that you cannot, you just cannot experience this.
Yeah.
But it's just started. What we already did is for the few of our murals, we already put augmented reality. For example, there is one beautiful mural about Old Town Street century ago, and if you come to this painting, oh, it's a beautiful painting, but now you put your mobile phone and it starts to move. There is a music going on. There are lines going on 3D on the streets. There are, let's say, you are getting into another atmosphere.
Yeah.
And this is already done. If you open Art Plus website, we did it together with Liepāja University. And another. For example, if you turn next corner, because I have in my mind our metaverse map. We have Kuldiga map, one of first towns in Latvia in metaverse. Second one, just short example, is that you also, again, you're watching the huge portrait about famous painter of Kuldiga. And there is just one painting, but then you suddenly open your mobile phone and it's showing one by one his works.
Yeah.
So it's like added value. I would say this is an added value.
I think this is really interesting when it comes to also your example of Notre Dame, Odetta, in your talk. So this is a really good example of how actually augmented reality already exists here in Latvia, how you're taking a monument that has been destroyed, recreating it for people in today's day and age to be able to experience, and taking different parts of that to create different experiences within that building as well. And I think maybe this threshold of like being scared of this, imagine this, without augmented reality and virtual reality, we wouldn't be able to have those experiences. And that maybe goes then for also historical events of the past, maybe we can recreate those, especially in kind of nations with rich history, like here in Latvia as well. So I think those are really great examples of how that works out as well. And also how, essentially, we as people, we're starting to consume tourism online. So do we see the same in other parts of the world as well? Have you, Odetta, got any experiences? You mentioned a lot of Singapore and kind of Asia and experiencing kind of virtual avatars already within spaces. Is that something you see as a trend that's coming also towards Europe?
Because it's pretty easy to do that, and if we don't create a huge and difficult 3D elements or motion, we don't track motion gestures of us, so it's pretty easy to come up with a solution, and that's why I really love these reliving history solutions, because, for example, would be even a way, and it's already happening, for example, to teach people in schools to relive the history. And we all know that, the things that we experience physically, we tend to remember more when we, scroll a picture or ad. We don't see any ads. I mean, we forget it instantly. So that's why, also an augmented reality or these solutions are really, that's why I mentioned about the attention span and, interactivity, that we can get that person working together, interacting together with us longer, so that we can make them feel that they are inside somewhere, or they're experiencing something that is physically there or not there, but they feel that they are inside something. So it would be really amazing, I think, and also to adopt it some in our markets here, which is already adopting in different markets, to really relive the history in schools. That would help us, to really increase the amount of people traveling to specific places, historical places, to really feel and experience it, the feel, the mood, the nature around it, what we saw so virtually.
Very cool. Good. Okay, yes, go ahead.
Just short to add, when I visited Fuji municipality, because Fuji city and Kuliga city are twin towns, they said that they implemented virtual reality tools fast, especially for handicapped people who never could climb up the mountains.
Yep.
So this augmented reality and virtual reality are not just the gadgets and to attract, but it's also like social tourism, and yeah, we are thinking every destination a lot about how to get here
I think
handicapped.
that's a very valid point,
Yes.
and that's also a connection to maybe the session earlier where we start to talk about sustainability, and particularly the social side of sustainability and DEI in general, making sure that equality is within also all of the new technologies that are coming out for tourism, and how those two new technologies can also facilitate travel for those who might not be able to travel in the same way, or might not be able to experience, for instance, an old castle and get to the top of it. They can maybe experiences down below, so it's not necessarily the entire journey, but it can also be part of the journey. So I think there's a lot that technology can do to make those experiences more enhanced and better for everybody.
And sustainable.
So,
For example, these that we can see. With all respect to organizers, but this is not sustainable. And imagine that if we would have this, I love it. I will keep it as a collectible also,
She's going to go into
but,
NFTs now, I
but
think.
this is exactly what we can, do online too. To these little parts that we all have our phones. We could have had this in our phone, and when we want to connect with someone, we just scan our, and collect immediately. We connect with each other.
And then we can put little like mouse ears and stuff on the little augmented reality in there as well. How you
Not yet.
And all the rest of it, exactly. But yeah, that's a good
But
point.
I love it.
Nice.
No worries.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Exactly. So Andres, you're a technology provider, and I guess kind of a lot of like the consumption of tourism happens outside of the booking journey itself. But even within the booking journey, personalization has been a big topic for years now, actually. So how do you see that technology evolving, and particularly with AI, how is AI helping us to personalize the booking journey at the moment?
It's there.
Yeah.
It's been there for a while. It's nothing extraordinary, because if we talk to each other about willing to travel somewhere, open your phone and try to type something in Google. You will see what? Traveling to somewhere, what you discussed all together. So this is already happening. So this is machine learning, this is AI. We as well use some elements of AI and machine learning in the company. We have the CDM system, which is meant for the working with the data of your clients, of the loyal guests, and we do the data laundry there. And we inject a bit of AI there to create personas, which already Odetta mentioned, that we would provide you a clear information what your potential guest is actually seeking. So it's already there. There are not only the Edge is the company who is using that, there are a lot of CRM, CDM companies worldwide who are doing it, and it's not only for the hospitality. It's definitely not for only the hospitality.
I think these are useful tools to think about if you haven't kind of dived into them, is the personalization of those customers on your own web pages, but also coming in from different channels.
Yep.
Because we don't all want to see the same thing, do we?
Exactly. Well, from my previous experience, I used to work at booking.com, so I can 100% tell you that in one side of the city, the page will be different than in the other side of the city. It depends on the, what are your interests? What device are you using? Do you travel mostly to business or a private? The same as doing Expedia and all the bigger online travel agencies. So they have been already implementing this since 2001, 97, when the first machine learnings happened. And this is all about how they display their stock of the hotels to the potential clients.
This is why I use VPN, virtual private networks, just
Yep.
to get a better rate
Yeah,
for.
VPN as well. It's commonly used for the airline. For example, if you want to go to US, you just take a US
It's half
VPN
price.
and
It's
it's
half
half
price.
price, and from Riga you get the ticket for half price
Yeah.
to
Yeah, definitely
ahead
you
on
should
this.
look
Yep.
into retail in this, because in retail the recommendation has been working fantastically for quite a while now. Like I'm in trouble every time when I go to Zalando, because they know me so well. They know what I want. They don't, well, they only show me the content that I'm interested in, and they know that I'm willing to buy. So the algorithm there works fantastically. So the same would apply, of course, in travel and hospitality as well. And we should utilize that more. We should know better our segments, our customers, and use the data to recommend the products for these specific segments.
Exactly. And this
for
how
sure.
you can segment and go for previously discussed that you have to know the segment. So if you are in sustainable tourism, then this can help you to segment. You can find out who is the right person to build up your loyal guests, to build up your community.
Yeah. And
Why
product placement is something quite interesting in this, because where Andy was talking about earlier in the panel for the sustainability piece on placing products that are sustainable in front of customers, it all starts online, doesn't it? So how will AI evolve in terms of product placement? Is that something that destinations are looking at maybe on this yet? Or is it still down to the kind of OTA market and algorithms within there?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Well, OTAs are huge, and that's what I mentioned earlier as claim your space in the internet. I didn't necessarily mean like you need to have your own web page. I'm kind of myself moving forward for that. Like you need to be omnichannel, and you need to be there where your customers are.
Yeah.
If your customers are in TikTok, you need to be in TikTok. Unfortunately, we as a destination or you as a travel business, you can't decide where your customers are going to buy or where they're going to find you. The customer is the king in hospitality as well. So they choose where they get the inspiration, whether it's TikTok or TV or newspaper or friends or family or whatever that is. You need to be there, and that's why we always say, like, be in the relevant channels and claim your place in the relevant channel. If it's OTAs, quite often it is. There's big players in the OTA world, and my opinion is that we can't live without them. It's rare that the business would be profitable customer acquisition on their own to their own channel. So you quite often would need an OTA in your channel mix for sure.
Yeah, I think the customer reach is really important on this one, to understand that also those OTAs don't necessarily operate as just booking platforms, but they are also access to the market a lot of the time. I think I saw some statistics last year that around about 80% of all customers that hop onto an OTA will at some stage also hop onto your own website. So that own website is just as important, and that's kind of where tech hops in again.
I
How
read
do you capture
somewhere
the
that
customer?
more OTA channels you use, the more your direct bookings
Yeah.
will grow.
Yeah.
So there's the billboard effect for sure. And I do believe that. And I
Yeah.
see that in my own personal behavior as well.
And it is actually, if you are present on multiple online channels, online travel agencies, then the tendency is that if you are, for example, on Booking.com, Expedia, Airbnb, whatsoever, and you have your booking engine, and it's placed on the Google Hotel Ads, in one of the top 3 positions, 60% of the clicks will go to your homepage. Then it's about the conversion, how you convert and what perks do you give.
Yeah.
But the statistics shows even with even rate parity, when the prices are completely the same on Booking.com, Expedia, HRS, and your booking engine, 60% will want to go to your booking engine, to your website. And they are seeking as well for the experience, because the main segment now is millennials who are basically traveling and buying, and they are looking for the experience as well. So, and then you just need to somehow, put a little perks or loyalty or something to attract them and stay on your website.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got 6 minutes left, so I think it would be a really good time now to maybe try and wrap up, but also give some advice, because I think tech and digitalization on all fronts needs to happen, because we are in a generational shift as well. Annis, what kind of advice would you give an SME in the room who hasn't thought about digitalization yet? What top tips would you give to them on how to start?
Yeah, I'm repeating myself now, but claim your space in the internet, and definitely it doesn't mean your own web page only. That's good to have also. You need to have your own booking channel for sure. But we just last week had a big event in Finland organized by Visit Finland, and there was TikTok presented there, and they gave a huge presentation of the massive audiences that they reach. And I asked them, like, please bring some cases from hospitality in Finland. There wasn't any, unfortunately. Of course, there's Finnair, but and few of the bigger players, but we are not utilizing that platform as well as we should. And what I'm sort of predicting, that these sort of behavior, like TikTok and Instagram, for instance, their algorithms work so well. So all of us as the consumers and as the travelers, we are used to that the algorithms know what we want, and we're used to this. So why would the consumer, let's say in 5 years, why would they spend weeks in the internet trying to find and book the destinations and the services when everything else, like the news, the shopping, the entertainment, they used to have it like this? So what I'm predicting is at some point the customer experience and the shopping experience for travel as well will be like a TikTok's For You page. It has to be, because consumers are getting used to that. So that's why I think it's good to start preparing now. Like in 5 years, things will be very different. We're not here sitting talking about having your own web page. We'll be discussing about something very different. That's what I'm predicting here.
Very good, okay. Odetta, what are the top 3 platforms that we need to be thinking about for the future? We mentioned TikTok already. You mentioned Snapchat. I didn't even think about that in for travel. But what's coming, particularly on the Gen Z side, where do you see the future of travel?
Physical platform, for sure. Physical reality, because I know that it sounds maybe contradictory what I was talking. But the main idea is, from my speech, it's not that, we fully immerse ourselves and go into virtual reality or virtual things, because we will not have any virtual reality if we will not have our physical reality right here, right now, prospered and nature and fostered and taken care of. So this is the first platform. Focus on the physical environment, really. Focus on the physical things around yourself. Focus on your business. How do you look? How boutique you are? Or maybe you have some competitive advantage. And only then afterwards, the other platforms will follow. Because, social media, the first one, of course, is TikTok from video perspective. Instagram is definitely not dead. However, I think that, don't hesitate to take a look also on, not on the platform perspective, but maybe on the medium perspective, on the tech, from the tech perspective, or the format, the way you are posting in social media, using filters or some carousels, and simple Instagram posts and etc.
That's so interesting. So that we don't end up like Tuvalu in Australia, we should all focus on the physical environment first. So I think that's a really nice kind of sum up also on how important it is to remain sustainable and think about our physical environment as the get-go for tourism. Andres, how does an SME get started on digitalizing their business? What do they need to do? A small medium-sized enterprise, where do they start?
Define where you want to be and what you want to have. Start to build up your roadmap on which points you already have. I mean, you have to think about the digitalization, about the distribution, about the optimizing and giving the possibilities of online payments. But please, as well as a hoteliers, don't forget about the offline segment as well, because it's like Odetta said, Instagram, it's not dead. It's like, everyone is telling GDS is dead. GDS is not dead. It's actually recovering quite well. So keep in mind that you have to evolve and develop and digitalize, but keep as well this practice of offline, of GDS, as a diversification to your business, which will gonna help.
Strategy is key. You need to have a
because
digital
you have to
strategy.
diversify. Sometimes you have some niche channels which can help you in the moment when you will need it.
Yeah.
And if you have a right technology in place, it will definitely help you.
Niche channels, digital strategy, very good takeaways. And Artis, how can we expect to consume the Latvian tourism product in the future? What's next?
Oops, it's a good question. I don't
More
know
virtual
what's
reality
next.
tours?
But
Take a dive
you
in
see,
history?
it's getting together. Like Odetta already mentioned, for example, yesterday we tested the newest VR headsets and Apple Pro headsets, and it's, let's say, first thing is do not buy TV. Don't do it because it's already on the street. You wear your headset, and there is all in one. You change your screens. It's exactly like, let's say, 10 years ago, it was some kind of James Bond movies. Now it's there. We're testing it, and I can extremely precise say you which headsets are better, which worse, because the most problem is that they do not support old telephones. But new models, all are in, and this is just short example, but I better liked if you asked me what I could suggest to the public.
Yes,
so I
please
would
do. Go
suggest,
ahead.
dear ladies and gentlemen, please learn digital skills, because time by time, because we're giving digital classes, digital skills classes, our Digital Innovation Hub, and time by time groups of different entrepreneurs coming, and tourism entrepreneurs, when they coming, they just don't use AI, that and that and that. But I would say I cannot live without AI.
That's a valid point, that is. Just like Odessa
Yes.
said, it's easy, isn't it? So
Yes,
maybe the
it's
educational
helping.
But
classes into
headset
how
is
to use
also
these
not a
platforms are
future.
good.
Like
Yeah, I saw-
headset is not a future also.
Yes,
So
sure.
the
It will change.
screenless, totally
Yeah.
post-smartphone era is
Yes.
also coming. Just have some maybe brain waves, which is already happening with AI. We are
Yes.
really thinking. So I don't like actually headsets at all. So that's why I don't really like virtual reality. That's why I really love augmented reality.
Yeah,
So more so.
they
but
will be
it's-
soon in your eyes, but it's okay. Still, it's a step before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it will
It's
be,
true.
but not a-
Lovely.
Ray-Ban has released the glasses with the cameras and everything,
Yeah.
so
It's
you can
Facebook's,
stream.
it's Meta's.
Yeah.
So next time
Yeah.
we meet, we'll all have glasses on with little screens in them,
So
and that'll be the next
be
future,
careful with
right?
me, okay?
yes.
That's it.
Exactly.
Thank you very much to our panelists and to Odetta for the keynotes. It was very interesting. I hope you all got some insights into what's new in digital and tech, and we'll leave it over to you, Val, now. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Nikki. And the panelists. So, are you getting more encouraged than before this panel? Please put up your hands. Yes, I feel more encouraged. Yes. I feel like, yeah, no pressure. That's the feeling. But once again, thank you for the panelists. That was really useful. So just summing up a little bit, also including the first panel, the feeling is like climate change is making sure that we are in the right spot on the globe. We are in the right spot, and we even have to think about the strategies where all those huge flocks of tourists will pour in to our region, and we will have to start to segment them and target them specifically depending on who we are, where we are. And all these three things like AR, VR, and AI can be a little of help depending on what you need from them. But we have to go there anyway, sorry. At least the panel said so. Then, very important information on transfers. Now we will have lunch and then the workshops. But on transfers, 5:15 is the time when from here to AC Marriott leaves the bus or buses. So it's 5:15. Then 6:15 from Marriott to the gala dinner place. The bus will go. It's 6:15 local time. Right after the lunch, it's 1:30. That will be in like 45 minutes. Right after the lunch, there will be a workshop for suppliers and buyers with pre-arranged meetings. The meetings you can find on Tavata platform. The platform you booked them. Please use that platform, and also there will be information on the screens because that B2B workshop place is next door and screens are there. Important thing, you will have 13 minutes with each meeting, 13 minutes. The buzz will go off after 10. So finish, please. And then the next buzz will start the next meeting. So it means 13 minutes, 2 minutes to change, next meeting. Those meetings are like 1:30, 1:45, 2, and so on. In between, at 3 o'clock, there will be coffee break. But now very important information on what to do. Like I said, please network. Use all your opportunities. Network like you never did before and will never do it again. So it's like now or never. And now let's go, please, for the lunch until 1:30. Let's go. Thank you.